Depletion in the ozone layer first became a widespread issue in the early 1970s, when chlorofluorocarbon was noticed to be the leading cause of thinning in the Earth's protective layer. In 1976, a report filed by the U.S. National Academy of Sciences concluded that aerosol spray cans were instead the biggest factor of widening holes in the ozone layer. Since gasoline has been contributing to the ozone layer depletion since its initial use, starting with combustion engines in the mid-19th century, it was not until recently when changes in alternative fuel solutions were really brought into the spotlight. Since 1985, when a hole over Antarctica was discovered by a team of British scientists, it is now estimated that 90 to 99% of the ozone layer over the South Pole is now gone. A number of alternative methods have been presented lately, including biodiesel, recycled vegetable oil, compressed natural gas, and electric-powered vehicles. To see which gasoline alternatives would become mainstream, and to find out what effects a continued use of ethanol would have on the environment, we asked a number of people in various fields, as well as those who already drive cleaner-burning cars, to see what changes are going to occur, and what the city of Santa Barbara has already done to take steps towards a greener future. What effects do you see a continued use of gasoline having on the environment in the near future?
I don't think there's any doubt anymore that it's going to have a radically detrimental effect on the environment, which is why we need to take hold of this problem very quickly.
But it does have to happen for the safety of mankind to, be able to continue.
The Toyota Prius uses a hybrid Synergy 1.5-liter four-cylinder gasoline-electric engine to produce a net 110 horsepower, while managing 60 miles to the gallon highway and 51 in the city. This one's a steal, ranging at around $23,000. The Lincoln Navigator uses a 5.4-liter V8 engine to create 300 horsepower, while only managing 18 miles per gallon highway and 13 on city streets, costing consumers about $46,000 at the dealership. The average MTD bus receives a fuel economy maxing out at around 6 miles per gallon, while providing mass transit for a relatively nominal fee. As of May 1st, all of MTD's buses are switching over to 5% biodiesel, decreasing emissions while increasing fuel economy. However, it is concerning that some of the routes are underused, harboring only a few patrons per trip, possibly decreasing the effectiveness of the entire program.
How long have you been driving a biodiesel-powered car?
I've been driving a vegetable-powered vehicle for about 5 years now. Yeah, I go behind sushi restaurants and other restaurants and pick up used vegetable oil and filter it and power my vehicles that way.
Just started.
Do you see an alternative such as biodiesel or vegetable oil replacing gasoline at any point in the near future?
No, definitely not. There's way too much political. There's the politics there are way too great.
I think the number one choice of being an alternative fuel in the future for vehicles is probably maybe electric vehicles. As long as we can get our electricity from power plants that aren't burning coal, fossil fuels. Another one would be the hydro fuels. I think only about maybe 15% of our fuel needs could be met by recycling vegetable oil. So I don't know how much we could provide doing that, and also this the raising of soybeans. I don't know if that's a great alternative for having biofuels.
Great. But even if the politics were set aside, I still don't think it's the only solution. It's a matter of having several solutions.
People's mindsets right now are changing, so we are definitely geared towards the positive change which was necessary years ago.
I have to say ethanol, just because it can be used in the same vehicles, little alteration at all.
Well, coming from me, since I work from Flexcar, I wouldn't say that necessarily there's a particular fuel source just yet. I think that ultimately it'll probably be hydrogen.
Hydrogen's a great medium because it's an extremely efficient energy carrier, and it's the most abundant element in the universe.
Could you see the majority of consumers being willing to switch over to an alternative fuel solution when it becomes more readily available?
Going to have no choice. The price of gasoline is going to go way too high, and diesel or petroleum diesel will go up as well.
I do believe that our country is probably going to be moving more and more toward diesel, and
it is absolutely necessary and mandatory.
I would say temporarily. I don't think it's a ultimate long-time solution.
I don't think that. I think that the market system is set up for that. Right now, the corporations favor, looking environmentally friendly, and people also have a really good outlook as towards that stuff.
Why do you think consumers would be reluctant to switching over to a cleaner fuel solution when one becomes more mainstream?
I think the reluctance comes in the price. I think if it's reasonably priced, even a little more expensive than current prices, then they'll go for it.
Pure unadulterated laziness.
But when it's incredibly expensive, they're not going to go for it.
Absolutely. People are lazy. If you've got $10,000 in your pocket and you've got a working car, and you don't have something else, what are you going to choose?
What does your organization do in the field of fuel alternatives?
My company is called Clean Air Tours, and what we do is we offer different tours. The main one we offer is a $49 wine tour.
we are actually switching on May 1st. So as of May 1st, we're going to be B5, which means 5% biodiesel, and then our intent is to move from that to B20.
Eagle Fuel 12X is a product that was developed, maybe 20 years ago by a Dr. Feynman. Who is
Okay. I'm with the California Fuel Cell Partnership, and we are a 31-member organization comprised of members from both the private and public, and we're interested in advancing hydrogen fuel cell technology into commercialization.
And then my company is FlexCar, and we give you that option to drive a car only when you need it. And so your monthly car expense might only be $20, as opposed to committing to, on average, about $700 nationally, car insurance payments and everything like that. And then you're driving our members are driving about 90% less than a car would, because they're walking and bicycling and doing all that instead, since they're thinking about paying for that trip every time they get in the car.
That the whole city fleet of vehicles that are diesels are all run on the same fuel, which is 20% soybean-based biodiesel and 80% low-sulfur diesel.
We're an environmental group started in '69 that opposes oil development and oil consumption, and we advocate use of alternatives to petroleum.
Deluge. We're a company that's developed a product called the Natural Energy Engine, which is powered solely by hot water.
I think we can do as a city to become more green. The biggest thing we've done beyond this is our schedule changing. The fire department has reduced our commuting down to 50% since January 1st because we just simply changed our schedule. So the schedule change has allowed us to reduce not only traffic but also fuel consumption over 50%.
Okay, last question is,